Hello everyone, how are you today? My name is Eva. I'm the director of the Scottish Wool Company, the Scottish Yarn Festival and the Scottish Wool Producers Showcase. And I was planning on coming on and doing a live from my new Instagram following the big news that I dropped yesterday. However, I've just been reliably informed by the powers that be at Meta that because my account is just brand new and very, very small, I'm not allowed to go live yet until I get 1,000 followers in there. That's Smeagol. Um, so I'm going to come on here. I'm doing a live in this space instead, and then I'm going to have to do some fancy reel downloading to, oh sweetheart, in order to, you ready to go? In order to put it up on my new profile. Oh my goodness. You know, it does feel in some ways that I'm starting from scratch, but it's exciting and scary and all the things all at once. I have new colours. So let's back up, because that's what I wanted to come in and show you. Back up slightly. If you missed my big announcement yesterday, I made a fairly big announcement on social media, and it was kind of like a gentle announcement as well at the same time, because I started making changes to parts of the business. Autumn last year. Just looking ahead at what's happening in our industry, looking ahead at what's happening in the world, looking at everything that's happening in my life, being responsible for several things here and wanting to keep them all sustainable. And then at the start of this year, started going through, spring of this year, I suppose, started going through the legal process of separating up my business. So I remain a sole trader for the events that I do, and I have formed a limited company for the yarn side of the thing that I do. And I also felt that almost 3 years into forming my Scottish Provenance wool brand, that it was time really to give it its own distinct identity and have that business separation. So there is a brand new Instagram account for the wool brand, which is now the Scottish Wool Company. If I get time, because I don't talk a lot about what happens with my family and my personal life online, and there's various reasons for that, but the privacy aspect is really, really important. I just don't know if I've got the time and the emotional capacity to deal with multiple new social media accounts right now, or whether that's the right thing to do, even though I know I have different audiences in different places. There's a lot happening, and I'm not afraid to say no and to slow down. So at the moment, if you just want Scottish Provenance, my own yarn brand content from me, then the Instagram account for the Scottish Wool Company is the place to go for that. And I'd be really grateful if you would just go give that a follow, give it a share, give it a repost, do those things to help me. It doesn't cost you anything apart from a few seconds of your time, but it really would help as I try and build that up again. And then I can go live from there without all this palaver to go through. So I started going through the process in spring, the legal side, to legally separate the business. I chose to celebrate that quietly with my volunteers and people that I've been working with, specifically who've had my back and have seen me through my best and my worst over the past 10 years. At the showcase, we toasted with some non-alcoholic Prosecco, or No-Secco as it's also called, because it was 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning and I'm a licence holder. And it's not a licensed venue either. But I wanted to mark that in some way with people that are really important to me first. But as I put in my post yesterday, environmental sustainability is incredibly important to me and the brand and what we do, to the point where we actually have half an acre of land managed by the Woodland Trust on Moncrief Hill, just outside Perth, towards Bridge of Arran. in recognition of the environmental impact of what we do. It's a way of protecting the land and values and all that sort of stuff. So I still have a significant amount of the Scottish Yarn Festival labels for the yarn. That's going to continue in the existing colours until they run out. Now, how soon might they run out? A couple of months? A year? Who knows? I'm not just taking them off and throwing them in the bin on environmental grounds, and also because that's just chucking money away. It makes no sense in terms of doing a rebrand, so that is not happening. But the new colours that we're introducing, of which I have two today to show with you, will have the new labels on them, and I felt that that was the best way to roll this out. And then I need to go and update literally everything in all the places, and that will take significant time. So the new colours that we've got that arrived yesterday, and I think they might be blowing out slightly on camera, but we are in a heat wave in Scotland and there's not much I can do about that. We have, first of all, we have Lamont. So Lamont here, look, see, Scottish Wool Company. Lamont is specifically named after Corinne from the Woolly Thistle. So I do this on occasion with some of the names that I've chosen for our clans, and it's in tribute to her. It takes a lot. It's one thing to have a dream and to finance something and to believe in something and to put all the work and the passion into it. But if you don't have people that see and recognise that work that you're doing and support it, then it's not going to succeed at all. And without a doubt, Corinne has been one of our biggest champions. The Woolly Thistle has been one of our biggest champions since we launched the brand. You know, immediately, even when I was sitting doing a marketing and business plan, and I wrote to them and said, I have this idea, this is what I'm thinking, this is, you know, woolly, very woolly, pun intended, what I'm looking at doing, are you interested? And we're very interested, please let us know what's happening. If they hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have been able to go ahead, because initially the amount of yarn that I had to buy to start everything, I realised the investment that the only way that I was going to make that work was to immediately go to wholesale. And that's a big deal. So I'm feeling my voice cracking now talking about this and with the emotion. So this is in recognition of the Woolly Thistle and Corinne believing in me and being a supporter from day one, because the wool brand probably wouldn't exist at all without them. So she's got one named after her now, Lamont, purple, which I know she'll love the purple tones because she's a very sort of pinky purple lady. And then the other new colour that we've got is this blue, and it's really, really difficult to try and capture online. This is Buchanan. And for no other reason than it's just a Scottish name really that I like. And I grew up spending quite a lot of time in Glasgow. I'm from the West Coast, so you've got places like Buchanan Galleries now. So it's another clan. The colour is absolutely gorgeous. Blues are always really popular. I struggled to keep some of the blues in stock, and I should say that following a delivery yesterday, I have everything. I have everything in stock in all the thicknesses, and both of these and the others are up online. So I'm holding the DK versions here, which is made up of 3 plies each of our yarn. The 4-ply version is online as well. It's called a 4-ply. It's actually 2 plies of yarn plied together to get the thickness that is known as 4-ply. Fingering weight is the other description for it. So that is online now to go buy. Unfortunately, we're still just doing domestic shipping. Let's not talk about the whole bonfire situation to do with trading with the EU at the moment, and it's just been made even worse. I am revising thinking about direct shipping to the US again. Unfortunately, Royal Mail is still putting that 10% tariff charge on, even though you're not charged for it anymore, technically. So it's difficult, but that 10% tariff charge doesn't exist using couriers to wholesale. So that's the reason behind that at the moment. But certainly if you're in the UK just now, if you are in the US or Canada, we've got the Wool Pirate in Canada is a stockist. Get in touch, let them know that you want this because they don't have these colours yet. We can get them to them in their next orders. But yeah, super proud to make my big announcement as to the changes for the yarn brand going forward. And I mean, it's in a way it's just a couple of words that are changing, but it's more than that. It gives me scope for the future to see where I want to take this and lead this. And I think it's a really important time to be talking about local provenance, you know, having that transparency, talking about where things come from, what we value, what's important to us, and having its own identity and being separate although related to the events that I do, I know is the right change to be making at this time. So thank you for being supportive of these changes, and I'm looking forward to you joining me on the rest of my journey to see where this goes. Have a great day.